Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and Veve and Ecomi are laying out drops like crazy. Those multi-week drops that we knew were coming are now upon us. And I don't think it's going to be slowing down with how many licensors they have in the queue. In this video, I'm going to highlight Star Trek NFTs, the Hulk comic book NFTs, and what else we most likely will be seeing with the CBS licensor partnership. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the community and feel free to subscribe. I'm a crypto, stock, and real estate investor, but never a financial advisor. All right, so we found out about CBS and Star Trek many months ago, right? But let's go into the drop and what else we could be seeing from Star Trek, what else we could be seeing besides Hulk comic books in the near future. And I believe we could see a lot more than just Star Trek from the CBS partnership. Let's start with Hulk though. So as we can see, Veve did announce that the Marvel's Hulk Future Imperfect number one is fully readable and available with 5 variant covers in blind box format coming this Thursday, September 9th at 8 a.m. These comics are killing. We've seen Fantastic Four and X-Men and Spider-Man and countless others. Every single one has sold out. If you were lucky enough to actually get a Spider-Man comic from the What Ifs that just dropped, that sold out super fast. So for what, $7 or $13 or however much they were, if you were able to secure a secret rare, basically you shot up almost 34,000% in game because those were selling, I don't know where they're at now, but the floor was at 2,500 gems. So these comic books are a success, both as a collector for all the big comic book nerds, but also a flipper's dream. We've seen Spidey, we've seen Captain America. It's really inevitable until we see the rest of the Avengers in collectible form in our showrooms. And the Hulk actually has some of the coolest statue figurines that I've seen, and they sell for quite a bit. The Hulk vs. Hulkbuster, this Smashing Hulk, Rampaging Hulk. There are a lot of really cool figurines that have been created. In fact, my buddy actually has this one in his garage, and I love this one of him fighting Wolverine. On to Star Trek. We have known about Star Trek for a long time, like I said, right? And this is awesome because it looks really cool. And, I'm not really a Trekkie, but we all know just how strong the Trekkie fandom is. And this is just another fandom for Ecomi and Veve to target. This is dropping Wednesday, September 8th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, which I'll probably be releasing this video tomorrow morning, or when you're watching, I guess it will be probably right before the drop. And we can see there are 4 drops where we'll be able to secure a board cube, which is in a 1:1000 scale, which is the common 9,800 editions, which is not really a ton for a common at this stage, for $40, and then the board cube 1/1 scale for 6,888 editions for $110. But we all want the USS Enterprise, right? The USS Enterprise D for the 1/1000 scale is the uncommon, $60, and editions 8,888. But we're all going to be gunning for the ultra rare USS Enterprise, which is a 1/1 scale, 5,888 editions at $130. These are all first appearance and from Star Trek The Next Generation. The USS Enterprise is 2,106 feet by 642 meters long. That's about 7 football fields. So what the heck does a 1/1 scale mean? Well, this thing even fit in your showroom. Yes, the ultra rare is scalable up to 1/1 size. It's realistic size. So have fun taking over your cities in AR. So people are going to be able to go to football games and have their USS Enterprise over the stadium. Or they're going to be able to flying above the Statue of Liberty or the Eiffel Tower. Or what I'm hoping is that the inside is extremely detailed and you can actually expand maybe that USS Enterprise out over your Veve showroom, and now you have a really cool vault that has different technology from Star Trek in your vault. But we've also seen from past AMAs that there will actually be multiple generations of Star Trek drops. So this is next generation, but we could see that there's old school, there's Star Trek Picard, and I can't read what the other ones are just because it's blurry on the screen, but we see that there are 1, 2, 3 Star Trek's as well as CBS logo right there, which is separate from them. But because there are multiple options from different generations, it'll appeal to different fans. We're seeing the ship and the cube initially, which I think the ship will make for a great vehicle in the Veve-verse and just look really cool in your showroom or wherever you're casting an AR. But we'll probably see the actual cast, right? And probably some of the weapons as maybe accessories in the future as well. So we can see these sell very well on Sideshow Collectibles, Captain Catherine Janeway. We can see Commander Data, Leonard Nimoy as Captain Spock selling for $1,305. So people like their Star Trek collectibles, from the ships to the multiple weapons to the actual cast. In fact, one of the most popular Star Trek toys actually came from McFarlane Toys, which at this point, the name McFarlane you should be familiar with, as Todd McFarlane has done a lot for the world of comics, done a lot for the world of collectibles and toys, and we all know how coveted the Todd McFarlane Batmans are. McFarlane has made several Star Trek figurines as well that actually have the real likeness of Captain Jean-Luc Picard and Captain Kirk from different generations, right? So this is really cool to see, and the likelihood that we're gonna see more from Todd in our showrooms seems pretty likely. Okay, yeah, we know about Hulk, we know about Star Trek Taps, Hulk's cool, Star Trek's cool, but we know about it. What else? As always, I dug a little bit deeper to see what's behind the massive licensor of CBS. I showed this document months and months ago, but it's actually been updated as of June 24th for the 2021. The top global licensors list shows the top 10, and we can see number 1 is Disney, Meredith Corporation, Authentic Brands Group, Warner Media, Hasbro, NBC Universal, Viacom, CBS, Pokemon Company, which, hey, happy to see that they jumped in the top 10 again, which Pokemon cards have been rampant, so not surprised, Blue Star Alliance, and Sanrio, which is Hello Kitty. But number 7 is Viacom CBS at $5.8 billion. And I always like to look at who's following them on social media, right? So just based off Twitter, CBS has 1.1 million followers. Star Trek has 502,000 followers. We saw Marvel and other licensors actually post on social media, especially Twitter, about these drops. So most likely CBS and or Star Trek would as well. This means, again, more awareness, more essentially free marketing to more user bases, more fandoms to get into the Veve app and start collecting, which means new users and more growth. But again, CBS is highlighted completely separate from Star Trek. And that's because CBS has lots of brands underneath it. As you can see, lots and lots. And there are way too many to name, but there is a short list of key probables that jumped out to me. Now, this is of course all speculation until announced directly from Veve and Ecomi, but I did find a lot of overlap that I think you may like to see. The first one that jumped out was MTV. And yeah, there are a bunch of movies and actors and different shows all tied to MTV, but one show really stuck out as being probably really high interest for a lot of the Veve fam, which is South Park, which came from Paramount and Warner Brothers, which we know we have Warner Brothers as a licensor as well. But that's not the only reason why I think we could see South Park on the app from CBS. Looking at the South Park toys, we can actually see there appears to be some familiar names who already have licensing with South Park as well. The first brand that we see is Funko, which we actually don't know if we have Funko yet, but I believe it's highly likely because David Yu has been associated and has licensing with Funko with his other companies. But again, what name jumps out? McFarlane Toys. So Todd McFarlane has South Park collectibles. But then what's the next name on the list? Kid Robot, which is Frank Kozik, the creator of the Labbits that we love in our showrooms. The more you really dig into these licensors and you realize that all of these guys that are working together already have built up decades of relationships with each other and other licensors and brands, and their network all has an overlap because they know, trust, and have worked with each other for so long. David Yu, Alfred Kahn, Jeremy Padower, all of them have been in this space for decades and have worked together. But the next key license was Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is owned by CBS. And Nickelodeon has hundreds, if not thousands, of nostalgic characters from our favorite cartoons like SpongeBob, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Fairly Odd Parents, Invader Zim, Jimmy Neutron, Rocco, and many, many, many more. And of course, what names do we see associated with Nickelodeon again? Kid Robot. So we can see Frank Kozik directly has a license with Nickelodeon himself and has tons of plushies and vinyl toys with a big emphasis on SpongeBob. We can see Rugrats, Ren and Stimpy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it isn't just Frank again, it's Todd McFarlane, as we can see. But the toys that are highlighted from Todd McFarlane is from another show that is owned by Nickelodeon that we haven't touched on yet. This show is amazing. It's built up an incredible fan base, and it kind of falls into the anime side a little bit. And that license I'm talking about is Avatar, The Last Airbender. We can see Todd McFarlane has created really cool toys and collectibles of Aang and Appa and the gang from Avatar. So while we're looking forward to seeing, Dragon Ball Z and all these other major animes on the app, I really think those will make most sense once localization comes into play and they'll have to secure licensing for, US versus the APAC region. But CBS already has license for Avatar, and this would be a good initial release for anime if they went this route, which I'm not saying they will. But again, we can see that it is possible through CBS, which owns Nickelodeon, and Todd McFarlane is the creator of many of the collectibles. Every time I dig into the licensor side, I always get so excited because there are so many levels of content that is available, and we've barely seen any of them. When I did my first interview with Reese back in, I think, March or April, he said they had enough licensors back then to be busy for years. This is pre-Marvel. I believed him then, but now I believe that is years and years and years and years. And this is why having multiple drops per week are only going to help them to continue to grow and to reach more users from more fan bases. We're still waiting to see Jurassic Park and LOL Dolls and Fast and Furious and NFLPA and 30 other licensors that we've known about, let alone the fact that they're planning on having multiple verticals that we've only seen, 2 of so far? I hope you had a chance to watch my recent interview with Brock McBlockchain, who's an OMI and Veve whale and has now been in for 3 years. But if you haven't yet, let me sum it up for you. Even after 3 years, he's still wildly excited and hodling as an investor, and it shows that we're still at the early stages. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of what the incredible future looks like for Ecomi and Veve. As always, I hope you found my content valuable, and if so, please hit the like button and leave a comment down below. The likes and comments appease the algo overlords and help my channel to continue to grow. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell for future content. That's it for today. I'm Taps. Thank you for your time, and happy trading.